Staring at the blank page before you. Open up the dirty window. Let the sun illuminate the words that you cannot find. Reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Natasha Bedingfield, Unwritten, top 5 song of all time. Fight me. Hi, what's up, guys? One day I want to make a full cinematic edit where it's just the lyrics to Unwritten by Natasha Bedingfield over a bunch of epic travel shit. I think that'd be pretty funny. So yesterday I woke up, like many of you, to 10 million videos about why you need to buy the new gimbal. DJI just launched a new gimbal. Zhiyun just launched a new gimbal, and it's just gimbal mania. Everybody is talking about gimbals, stable footage, and why you need to buy a gimbal. And I thought maybe, Sam, just maybe, I should make a devil's advocate video on why you might not actually need that gimbal, why you can maybe put your credit card away for a second and not impulse buy the newest, flashiest piece of tech. All right, let's talk about some shit, dude. Come on. Let's just talk about some shit. Okay, so the first thing you need to do before buying a new gimbal is deciding what your intention is behind your upcoming films. For me, as a travel filmmaker, 95% of my films have no gimbals in it. And that's very intentional. A perfect example of this is my film for Canon USA called Eye of the Storm, where we didn't even bring a gimbal with us to Norway because I figured out the intention behind the film and came to the conclusion that I preferred the handheld look for that film, and when we needed stable shots, we took a different route than using a gimbal. If you're shooting weddings, if you're shooting real estate videos, then yes, a gimbal is going to be very important. But a lot of times, if you're working on action sports, if you're working on documentary style, if you're working on travel films, which is what I do here, a lot of times I realize I don't need the gimbal. I like just traveling, shooting handheld, and getting those more raw, shaky shots. Because I feel like a lot of times when you use a gimbal, the footage just feels so clean and smooth to the point where you hear that and you're like, clean and smooth, Sam, that's what I want. But when you're actually making a travel film, at least for me, I want it to be raw. I want it to be something that you watch and you feel like you're being immersed in the scene, like you're actually there. And for me, when you use gimbals, it kind of takes you away from that production value. It can make it feel a little too staged sometimes. So I think it's really important to identify what your intention is and why you would even need a gimbal in the first place, instead of just going out, buying it, and then coming back and thinking, okay, what am I going to use it for? Because that leads into the second point, would just be gimbals make you lazy at times. A lot of times when you have a gimbal, you go out, you buy this new gimbal, right? Then you have it and you're like, okay, well, I need to use it. I need to shoot on this gimbal now. And then you put your camera on the gimbal, you take 20 minutes, you balance it, you put your camera on the gimbal, and it kind of limits how many shots you can get. You become very one-dimensional with just getting the same kind of orbital shots. It's a weird-ass word. Orbital shots and push-ins and slow follow tracking shots, and you kind of know with like the B-roll bros of all the people that do the speed ramping, and it just kind of all becomes the same after a while. And I think it kind of limits my creativity when I have the camera on the gimbal as opposed to holding it handheld or with a rig. I can go in so many different places, lower angles. I really think outside the box when I have it, because I have to really think, okay, what's the frame? What's the shot? And for me, it makes me much more intentional, and I like that. And my third and last little point here is that there are other options. You can build out a rig for a very similar price, which many DPs are going to find more useful in the long term. You can use your drone, you can shoot slow motion, you can even, God forbid, use a tripod. Because a lot of the times when I think I need a gimbal, I've realized that there's so many different techniques I can use to create that same emotion that gimbals provide. Plus, I didn't even mention this, you can find secondhand gimbals for the last couple generations that still work extremely well for those shots. And those are so cheap. I found one on OfferUp for a few $100s. They might not have the fucking LiDAR autofocus or like a wrist attachment. I don't know. They might not have all the newest whistles and gadgets, but they might serve the purpose you need in terms of just having a smooth and stable shot. I don't know. There's a lot of different ways around it. Drone, slow motion. You can find different ways to not necessarily need a gimbal. And if you do want one, you can rent one. You can buy one secondhand. There's a lot of different options. So I just want to make a simple video. What did we learn here? Well, it all comes down to intention. You may still want to get the new gimbal, and that's fine. And it might be something that you feel like will make life as a filmmaker for you easier. But I hope this video just showed that if for some reason you can't get it, you're gonna be okay. That's about it. This is a simple video. I'm not gonna sell you anything. I'm not gonna put a sponsor on it. I just thought I would talk to you for a bit because holy shit, when these launches happen, it happens fast, and I feel the pressure to, free feet pics here. I feel the pressure to also go out and buy it. Because I'm not gonna lie, when I first watched all these Ronin videos, I was like, fuck, maybe I need one. But then I was like, no, Sam, you don't. And maybe you don't need one. Maybe you do. I don't know. I just thought maybe I'd offer my 2 cents on this. That's it. Thank you. Go watch some of my videos if you want an example of how I don't use gimbals in a lot of them. So I'll put one right here. I appreciate you guys. I love you. And as always, stay creamy. Staring at the blank page before you, open up the dirty window, let the sun illuminate the words that you cannot find, reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inhibition, feel the rain on your skin, no one else can feel it for you, only you can let it in.